Decides to try some uppercuts. Watch. Roland, still plenty game, will punch off the ropes and counter with his own right.
First $1 million game since the famous Dempsey Tunney long count battle in Chicago 8 years before. By the fury of Lewis's attack.
What's happening, my people? It's Cast Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT, Mike Mazik. Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cass Sports, The Box Storian. Today, it's Fantasy Matchups Monday, the heavyweight golden era. And you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's The Box Storian bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. How's everyone today? This is the Monday afternoon edition of Cass Sports, The Box Storian. Right back at the beginning of another big week of boxing history, coming straight at you. How was everybody's weekend? Enjoy the fights. Man, they got to do something about these judges, man. What did that one judge have? 117, 111 for Paro. You know, 117, 111 is 9 rounds to 3. Come on, man. That judge know damn well Paro didn't win no 9 rounds. And then, you know, when they read off his score first, 117, 111 Paro. Paro had the nerve enough to raise his hand up like he had 117. Come on, man. Paro know damn well he didn't come anywhere near 117. That's 9 rounds to 3. 117, 111, right? 9 rounds to 3. Okay. You know, because 10 rounds, that's 90 points. Then the 3, you get 9 points for 3 rounds, that's 27. 9 plus 27 is 117. 9 rounds for Paro. Come on, man. It's getting ridiculous. It's happening every week now, at least once on the boxing always been corrupt and had bad scoring, but now it's happening every week now. Every time we have a boxing card, we get some judge doing that, man. What they got to do is, that was for the IBF, and it was in Puerto Rico. So one official from the IBF and another official from the Boxing Commission down in Puerto Rico needs to sit down with this judge and his card and have him explain exactly what 9 rounds Paro won. And I guarantee you, this judge would not be able to do that because he know Paro didn't win 9 rounds. But you know, people bet on points or scoring too. So he was obviously paid off by somebody for that 117, 111 score. You know, although Paro lost, people do bet on scores. So he was paid off for that, man. And he needs to be investigated. Because, no, come on, man. 9 rounds to 3 for Paro? I mean, Hitchison won. Paro did win the first 3 rounds, and that was all he won. Hitchison won the last 9 rounds, man. And that jab, ooh, I don't think he missed the jab after the 3rd round. It was like his left hand was made out of metal, and Paro's face was a magnet. But yeah, that was ridiculous, man. They need to do something about that because it takes away from the sport, you know. I mean, I watched that fight from the first second of the first round to the final second of the 12th round. And, you know, I went back and watched it. You know how you go back and you try to give a person rounds. I had gave Paro 3 watching it live. After looking at it again, I only gave him 2. I took 1 from him. So, yeah, they need to sit down with this judge and say, look, here's your card. Now show us the 9 rounds you gave Paro. He won't be able to do it because he knows Paro did not win 9 rounds. And Paro going to raise his hand up like he really had 117 when they said that. He should have been like, no, that's wrong, man. I didn't have no 117. Come on, man. But how's everybody, man? It's Monday. Now, what we're going to do today on the Fantasy Matchups Monday is we're going to talk about a little history of the golden era of the heavyweights, 1970s into the early 80s. And then we're going to do some matchups of some heavyweights from the golden era in the 70s against some heavyweights from some different eras. And then we're going to talk about some other heavyweights from that era. It's about the golden era today. And the rest of the week, now tomorrow, we're going through the classes. Tomorrow we're up down to middleweight. So we done heavyweight, cruiserweight, light heavyweight, super middleweight last week. So we're going to look at a little history of middleweight tomorrow and look at some of the top middleweights of all time. We're going to look at the top 10 middleweights currently, top 10 current active middleweights, talk about them a little. And then we're going to talk about some of the best middleweight fights in history. That's tomorrow. And then Wednesday, Wednesday I like to take a card out of the chat. Yeah, Mike said, boy, only win 2 rounds. Hitchin washed him. Yeah. Up the second half of the fight. Yeah, Mike. Now, when I watched it live, I had it 9-3, Hitchens. But so now I go back. I'm going to say I'm going to get a judge the benefit of the doubt and try to find some rounds to give Pyro. I actually took one from him. I went to rewatch it. I had Pyro with 3 rounds. But after rewatching it, I only gave him 2. Trying to find rounds to give him. I took one from him. I think it might have been the second. Now, I gave him clearly the first 3 rounds, but the second was questionable. You could have gave that one to Hitchens, but, I still gave it to Pyro. 9-3. But yeah, Mike, I don't think Hitchens lost the round after the 3rd round. Remember, he went to his corner, and his corner was like, come on, man, let your hands go. What are you doing? And from that point on, man, he was on target. That's about the most accurate fight in 40 years. That's about the most accurate I've seen a fighter be. Now, I'm not saying he's more accurate than like the Sugar Rays and the Floyds and them guys, but that for one total fight, man, that's the most accurate I've ever seen a fighter throw, man, because after that 3rd round, I don't know if he ever missed another jab. I don't know if that left hand ever missed after the 3rd round, man. It was crazy. And then the man said 117. I think it was 170, 111. And the judge disappeared. Remember what Eddie said? Eddie got in the ring and said, he said whatever his name was. He said, I don't know what that judge was looking at, wherever he is right now. So he gave his score and disappeared. Now, see, those judges need to be in that press room after those fights explaining stuff like that. They don't have to be interviewed every fight, but something like that. But that's why they do it, because they're not held accountable for it. They can just give those bogus scores and disappear. And it's not bad, like I always tell y'all, it's not bad judging. These are professional, trained, qualified judges. It's not bad or competent judging. It's cheating. It's corruption. Because that judge will be the first one to tell you Pyro didn't win 9 rounds. But he was paid for that score because people bet on scores too. And he was paid for that 117, 111. You better believe he was. What other reason would he have for scoring the fight 9 rounds to 3? Knowing Pyro didn't even win 5 rounds. But it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy, man. The way that went down. I thought they was going to rob him because they read that judge first, remember? And Pyro had the nerve to put his hands up like he really had 117. Really, Pyro? Come on, man. And then after that, he admitted that he said Hitchens was a better man on the night, blah, blah, blah. So why did you put your hand up when you heard 117? Because you was going to accept that robbery. He thought he was going to get a robbery. I wouldn't even want to win like that, man. I would have been like, no, I didn't win no 9 rounds, man. Come on. But Pyro was getting ready to take that robbery, man. And then remember what they kept saying, the announcers during the fight? They trying to set this big money fight up in Australia between Pyro and the other Australian C-level. What's his name? The one that Tio gave us. Kambosos. They kept saying, yeah, if Pyro wins, we're going to get Pyro and Tio and Kambosos in Australia. That's going to be a big money fight. Mm-hmm. So the judge might have been paid to try to get that. But that's the only place it would have been big money in Australia. Who would want to see that? Pyro and Kambosos. Pyro and Kambosos. Who wants to see that, man? 2 C-levels. Mike Rim in the building. What's up, Mike Rim? How you doing today, Mike? Good to see you. And Donnie Williams. What's up, Donnie? Donnie Williams is in here today. Fantasy Matchups Monday. Oh, we had started on the rest of the week. Let me finish that. Yeah, Tuesday is tomorrow is we're going to talk about the middleweight division, a little history, some of the top middleweights of all time. Rich Porco, how are you, Rich Porco? Yeah, I think so, Rich. For heavyweights, I would say best era ever, period, in boxing, man, because the 70s gave us Roberto Duran, Esteban de Jesus, Salvador Sanchez, Wilfred Benitez, Wilfredo Gomez. Definitely heavyweight, but arguably best era ever for any weight class, man, because most of those 99.9% of the guys that had belts in the 70s are in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. So a good question, Rich. Definitely best era for heavyweights and arguably best era ever in boxing. But salute Rich Porco. Welcome to Cast Sports, my brother. Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Bringing you all that boxing history. Now, yeah, Tuesday is about the middleweight division. Ray Patterson, straight out of New Jersey. What's up, RP? And I'm getting ready to get to New Jersey in a minute. But Wednesday, we got a show coming out of the chat. I like to do them on Wednesday. We haven't had one in a while, but we get another fire profile brought to you by Mike Mazik. The life and career of Jolton Jeff Chandler. It's going to be a good one. Don't miss that. You get a bonus profile this week. You get the regular one on Friday. And the life and career of Jolton Jeff Chandler. That's going to be a good one. Brought to you by Mike Mazik. Another fire one. Might keep giving us them fire ones. I know he can't give me one every Wednesday, but that would be nice. No, I ain't putting that kind of pressure on you, Mike. But yeah, Mike give up some fire profiles. Jolton Jeff Chandler Wednesday. Don't miss it. Thursday is boxing in the States, New Jersey, home of Ray Patterson. Just Do Boxing, Mrs. Just Do, Baby Do, the entire Do family. Slick Shakur Stevenson, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. We did Marvin for Massachusetts too, because that's where the majority of his boxing career played out at. But he's originally from New Jersey, so we're going to put Marvin on Thursday. And Aunt McQueen, attentive Aunt McQueen, brought to my attention last week that Floyd Mayweather had a connection to New Jersey through his mother. So Floyd going to be included in New Jersey too. Yeah, so big one Thursday. Big one. The life and career of New Jersey. Boxing in the States, New Jersey. That's Wednesday. The life and career of Jolton Jeff Chandler, brought to you by Mike Massey. Then Friday, regular profile day, we got the life and career of Roy Jones Jr. I could have sworn I did Roy before, but I checked, I didn't. So Roy Jones Jr. Friday. A bonus profile this week on Wednesday. Jolton Jeff Chandler, former world champion out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's going to be a good one. Don't miss it. Your Foreman came back and won again at 45. Oldest heavyweight champion ever. Was oldest for boxing until B-Hop. Until B-Hop took it, and it's 49. B-Hop took Foreman's record at 46, and then he broke his own record twice. One at 48, and then at 49, and that's the official record, 49. We got to get a little bit of our history, highlights of boxing history in right quick. I've been running my mouth. It's almost 2:30. But let's get a little bit of highlights of boxing history, and that's a little thing we do from 2 to 2:30. We're going to start with June because I've been messing up and doing it at the end of the show. Y'all got to stop me, man. When I start up at the end of shows, this is supposed to be at the beginning. We're going through, we're almost halfway through the year, June. So I'm supposed to be doing this at the end. Y'all got to stop me, man. I blame it on y'all. Mike Mazik and Mike Grimm and RP. Y'all didn't stop me. See, don't do it at the end of the show. That's for the beginning. Okay, but let's look at June real quick. Then we're going to start the fantasy matchups Monday, the golden era of the heavyweight, or the heavyweight golden era. Excuse me. Let me take a drink real quick. Come here. Got a cooler. Every day is the weekend. A lot of people weekends ended today. Mine's still going on. And it'll be tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, and the next day. Every day is the weekend over here at Cash Sports headquarters. Okay? Okay. June 1st, 2019. Andy Ruiz Jr. beat Anthony Joshua in an upset victory to become the first Mexican world heavyweight champion. Wow, that's hard to believe. 2019, the first Mexican world heavyweight champion. Andy Ruiz. I could have just thought we had a Mexican heavyweight champion by then, but no. Just 5 years ago. It's hard to believe, but yeah. June 2nd, 1947, Len Wickwar fought for the 473rd time in his career. You heard right. Len Wickwar fought for the 473rd time in his career, more than any other boxer in history. I guess so. This man had 473 fights in his career. June 3rd, 2016, Muhammad Ali passed away at the age of 74. He would forever be remembered as the greatest. Muhammad Ali. June 4th, 2005, Ricky Hatton defeated Kostya Tszyu for the IBF light welterweight title. We're going to go through June, and we're going to start on Fantasy Matchups Monday. The heavyweight golden era. Okay? June 5th, 1999, Roy Jones Jr. defeated Reggie Johnson and unified the light heavyweight division. And Friday, Roy Jones Jr. is the subject of the profile. Our second profile, we got Jalton Jeff Chandler Wednesday. June 6, 1988, Iran Barkley defeated Thomas Hearns for the WBC World Middleweight title. That was an upset. Beat the Hitman. Yep. Yeah, John Ruiz, he was heavyweight, Rich. Yeah, John was back like the 90s, wasn't he? I wonder if he's any relation to Andy. I think John fought Holyfield, and I know he fought Lennox Lewis. 90s, early 2000s, yeah, John. He was a heavyweight, Rich, yeah. Now, June 7th, 1946, Willie Pep unified the world featherweight title with a victory over Sal Bartolo, B-A-R-T-O-L-O. Y'all know where I am with names, okay? June 8th, 2002. Didn't get my throat right. We were just at the beginning. June 8th, 2002. Lennox Lewis beat Iron Mike Tyson in an 8th round knockout. Well, I guess he wasn't Iron Mike Tyson no more by then. Lennox Lewis beat Mike Tyson. Got to drop their iron, get knocked out in the 8th round. You can't call him an iron no more. 8th round knockout. Wow. June 9th, 2007. Miguel Cotto defended his WBA welterweight title against Zab Judah by technical knockout in the 11th round. June 10th, 2006. Bernard Hopkins defeated Antonio Tarver to take the light heavyweight world championship. Okay. June 11th, 1930. Go back a ways. Max Melling won the undisputed world heavyweight title, defeating Jack Sharkey by a 4-round disqualification after a low blow. And Max Melling became the first boxer to win the title, win the heavyweight title by disqualification. Yeah. Jack Sharkey hit him low. And you know, Max was the German that went on against Joe Louis in those two historic fights. Beat Joe the first time. But Joe didn't play with his food the second time, got him up out of there in the first round. June 12, 1986, Evander Holyfield won his first world title, the WBA's Cruiserweight Championship, with a 15-round decision over Dwight Muhammad Qawi. June 13, 1935, James J. Braddock, with 24 losses, produced one of the biggest upsets in World Heavyweight Championship history, defeating champion Max Baer to take the world title by a 15-round unanimous decision. Oh, Mac, you let this man with 24 losses beat you. But, you know, any given night, man, you know, man had 24 losses, but that was his night that night. June 14th, 1934, Max Baer won the World Heavyweight title, dropping Primo Carnera 11 times to an 11th round knockout. dropped him 11 times in 11 rounds. So Max lost to, so that was 34. He lost to the 24 lost man a year after that. But he dropped Primo Carnera 11 times in 11 rounds. And Primo was Mafia sponsored, right? He was getting a lot of his wins because the Mafia was paying people to take dives. I guess Max didn't pay no attention to him. And Primo really thought he was that good. He didn't know the Mafia was paying people to let him win. He thought he was like that. But he got dropped 11 times in 11 rounds. Primo, you was not like that, man. June 15th, 1984, the Hitman, Thomas Hearns, retained his WBC World Junior Middleweight title with a second-round knockout over the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. Okay, we're going to knock this out. We still got 5 minutes. June 16th, 1983, the Hands of Stone. I should have saved it for this one because he lost last one. Roberto Duran became the 7th fighter in history to be a 3-division world champion, knocking out WBA junior middleweight champion Davey Moore in 8 rounds. 3 divisions. I think he might have, did he get 4? I'm not sure. I know Hearns and Sugar Ray got 4. I think Duran might have stopped at 3. June 17th, I had to check that out. June 17th, 1954, Rocky Marciano defeated Ezra Charles by a 15-round unanimous decision. And guess what? Now, Rocky knocked out everybody he fought in championship fights, so he beat Ezra by a 15-round decision. And he did not have to give him a rematch because Rocky was the defending champion. But guess what? He gave Ezra the rematch and knocked him out in the next fight. So he had to give him the rematch because he didn't knock him out. Because Rocky said, I got to knock everybody out in championship fights. So he gave Ezra the rematch and knocked him out in the second fight. Okay? Knocked out everybody he faced in championship fights. Not every championship fight, because Ezra went the distance 1 round, but everybody he faced, he knocked him out because he knocked Ezra out the next time. I got this thing on never go off. Why are you going off, phone? Bear with me for a minute. That's my chat phone. Don't go blank on me. We're going to finish this off, then we're going to start this show. Well, I guess it's already started. It's highlights of boxing history segment. Wrong password. Always something, man. Oh, boy. Use your hand. Left hand, guys. Okay? Use your left hand. Dummy. And I got it right when I used my left hand. There we go. Nobody came in. Okay. But yeah, salute to Rich Porco, everybody. He done joined us over here at Cast Sports. But I've seen Rich's name in other places, though. He's a big-time boxing, knowledgeable supporter. Okay. Now, June 18th, 1923, Pancho Villa became the first world boxing champion in history from the Philippines, knocking out Jimmy Wall in 7 rounds. First Filipino boxing champion, and arguably the best Filipino of all time. Yeah, Manny got some competition for that. It ain't just automatically no Manny Pacquiao. Pancho Villa was a bad boy, man. Back in them 20s. June 19th, 1936, Max Smelling gave Joe Louis his first defeat with a 12-round knockout. Yep, just talking about that. Yep. Didn't only beat Joe, stopped him. June 20th, 1980, Roberto Duran defeated Sugar Ray Leonard for the WBC World Welterweight title. And Sugar Ray came in and tried to brawl with Duran because Duran talked about his mama, his wife, his dog, his goldfish, everybody. Sugar Ray came in and fought mad instead of fighting smart and got beat, you know. Talked about everybody, man, in Sugar Ray's household. June 21st, 2003, Lennox Lewis defended his title by defeating Vitaly Klitschko by technical knockout due to a cut in Klitschko's left eye. Klitschko was up on all the scorecards at the time of the stoppage. Klitschko was winning the fight, but that cut stopped him. June 22nd, 1937, Joe Louis became heavyweight champion and defended the title until his retirement in 1949, becoming the longest reigning champion in history. Yep. That wasn't Max Mellon yet, neither, when he first got it back. He had it when he fought Max. I think that was James J. Braddock. James J. Braddock was supposed to fight Max, but they didn't want the German to get the heavyweight championship because they thought Hitler was going to get over there in Germany and that nobody would ever see the belt again because he was going to have Max fight lower-level European fighters and stuff. So they bypassed Max and let Joe Louis fight James J. Braddock, but that was supposed to have been Max. But he did get a shot at Joe Louis. June 23rd, 2007, Ricky Hatton defended his ring light welterweight championship by defeating Jose Luis Castillo. June 24th, 1957, Hogan Bassi became Nigeria's first boxing champion in history, winning the vacant world featherweight title with a 10th round knockout of Sharif Hamla, 126th, first Nigerian. Couple more days. June 25th, 1948, Joe Louis retained his world heavyweight title for the 25th and final time, a record for any individual in boxing history. Then he retired, but he did come back for 25 times. And guess what? Out of those 25, he knocked 23 of them out. Only 2 went the distance. Incredible. June 26, 1934. Sixto Escobar became Puerto Rico's first world champion in history, knocking out Baby Casanova in 9 rounds. Knocked out Baby Casanova. What a name, Baby Casanova. First Puerto Rican world champion, Sixto Escobar. First of many. June 27th, 1988. Yeah, I can call him Iron this time. Iron Mike Tyson had to check first. I thought that was Buster Douglas, 1990 though. June 27, 1988, Iron Mike Tyson retained the undisputed world heavyweight title with a first-round knockout of former world champion Michael Spinks. What was it, 90 seconds, right? A couple more days. June 28, 1997, The Real Deal, Evander Holyfield, won by disqualification over Mike Tyson after Tyson tried to bite his ear twice. No, he didn't try, he bit it. The second time, he bit it off. You know, after he bit it the first time, the referee Mills Lane was going to disqualify Mike, but I think Holyfield in his corner talked him out of it, said let the fight continue. So guess what? Mike bites him again. This time bites part of it off. And you got to chew a man's ear. Why was Holyfield standing there letting him chew part of his ear off, man? June 29th, 1956, Mario D. Agata became boxing's first deaf-mute world champion in history, defeating Robert Cohen by knockout in 6 rounds for the world bantamweight title. First deaf-mute. So how he hear the referee's instructions? Guess he had to get a referee to new sign language or something. I don't know. Damn. I would like to see that. 1956. I wasn't born yet, though. I'm old, but I ain't that old. First deaf-mute. It would have been interesting. Guess the referee would have to know sign language, right? Man, had gonna tell him break. Oh, you can't hit that man behind the head. Oh, that was low. Mario D. Agata, the first deaf-mute world champion, bantamweight, and got his man out of there in 6 rounds. June 30th, 1966, Iron Mike Tyson was born. He would become the youngest heavyweight champion and one of the biggest names in boxing history. Still the youngest heavyweight champion. That's it. Only 30 days in June. That's it. Tomorrow we start with July, and I'm not going to do it at the end of the show today. Messing it up. We're moving too fast through this, man. You know, we all the way up to July. Oh, that's in the other book. Let me put that down, July, because I'm old. I'm forgetting. Okay, we're going to talk about it's Fantasy Matchups Monday. And we're focusing on the golden era. We're going to talk about a little history of the golden era first, and then we're going to have a few golden era heavyweights going up against some heavyweights from other eras. A couple from now. From fighting right now in 2024. Might as well say 25. Don't forget we got a raffle going on. And guess what? It's no longer half and half. The winner gets the whole pot. Okay, we changed it. The winner gets the entire pot. Right now, $225. Let me make sure. It might be more. The winner gets the entire pot now, okay? We changed our mind. We said it's Christmas, and I'm trying to get a good present. Give them all of it. So now you can spend $100 on me and still have another 100 left in your pocket right now. Because right now it's I'm the treasurer. I know how much you want, so don't come half step. $235, okay? Well, it's moving kind of slow. We done made $10 like in the last month. But $235, okay? Oh no, $225. That 10 was for something else. But $5 gets you one chance. $5 gets you $225 right now. And $20 gets you 5 chances. The pot stands at $225. No, $215. What am I talking about? $215. Yeah, $215. Man, I'm getting my bad information. $215 is the raffle. Okay? Send your money to $, all caps, JBT Network 1. And you're in. Man, I would have to go with 70s, Rich. I would go with 70s. You know, 90s still had that power, but he wasn't as mobile. Oh, I don't think he was as strong. So I think 70s would stop him. Just like he was doing everybody else before he ran into Ali, he would destroy him early. I don't know though. George had that beard. I would go with 70s though. 70s. Yeah. Because that before he ran into Ali, man, Big George was just destroying everybody, man. We didn't even want Ali to fight him. You know? Like stay away from that monster, Ali. Joe Frazier, 6 ties in 2 rounds, stopped Ken Norton in the first, destroyed George Chivallo, all of them. Big George was just wiping them out. And, you know, Ali came in there and had put that rope-a-dope on him. Melanin Queen 27 in the building. Good afternoon, Melanin Queen. How are you today? Yeah, I just notified them that the raffle is now, the full pot goes to the winner. We have changed it. And right now it's on 215. We got to get this thing moving, man. We got 2 more weeks, 2 weeks from Saturday. You know? $5 will get you $215 right now. $20 get you 5 chances, but you still make out $215. We decided to be generous. It's Christmas. Give them all of it. Man. Just give them all of it. Okay? Give them all of it. So the winner gets the entire pot. Right now, like I said, $5 entry gets you $215. That is a big turnover right there. Right? Get little Junior that good present. Or Cash Sports. Cash Sports, when I cash app it to you, just cash app $100 right back. That'd be my present. Okay, let's talk about the heavyweight division. The heavyweight golden era, right? That's where we're at today. Crush the legend. Hashtag TWT. The winning team is in the building. What's up, Crush? Talking about Fantasy Matchups Monday, Crush. We're going to talk about this greatest era of heavyweights, the 70s. And then we're going to have a few heavyweights from the 70s go up against some fighters from different eras, including the current era right now, like Fury, Usyk, AJ, Wilder. I heard they was talking that Wilder and AJ stuff again. I think I saw something like that this morning. I don't even want to see it now. We needed that like, 5-6 years ago, I guess, around in there. I don't want to see no AJ and Wilder now. Both of them just lost by knockout in the last fight. I don't want to see that. I don't know about anybody. I don't want to see no AJ and Wilder now. If we didn't get it when we wanted it, no, I'm not putting 1 penny to order. They both just got knocked out, remember? Zhilei Zhang knocked Wilder out, and what was his name? Dubois knocked out AJ. So no, I don't want to see that. Now they're going to give it to us when it's past the time. It's past the sell-by date. Now they're fighting, just like Floyd and Manny did. We wanted that like 2009, 2010. Here they come 2015 fight. Then when they was both in their 40s a couple years ago, they talked about fighting again. Who want to see him, Floyd Manning now? Almost older than me. Okay. Fantasy matchups Monday, the heavyweight golden era. Now boxing does seem rejuvenated right now since the Saudis started dipping into their pockets to save a sport many believe was dying, right? Now, they have made super fights like Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Got one coming up in a couple weeks. Daniel Dubois versus Anthony Joshua. And they have made super cards like Day of Reckoning, remember that? And the 5 versus 5, where Eddie got wiped out. You know, Matchroom in Queensburg wiped Eddie out. Did he win? No, Eddie didn't win any. Yeah, Matchroom didn't win nothing. But the Saudis bought us both of those cards, right? However, as good as the events the Saudis are putting on are, the fact that the boxing fans are having to rely on the financial power of a country as controversial as Saudi Arabia is to get these fights doesn't sit well with many fans. Now, sadly, due to the greed of the fighters and the promoters these days, this is the reality of the boxing world. And it's a simple explanation. Wherever the biggest paydays are, that's where the fighters are going to go. Now, even the recent fight between Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois, just talk about that. Even that fight, it was at Wembley in the UK, but it was financed by the Saudis, right? So both of those guys got pretty good paydays. AJ was guaranteed $7 million, whether he won or lost, right? Guaranteed $7 million. I would have went in there and went on down in the first round. You know, then in the back, had my check, put my check in the palm of my hand. You know, you didn't say I had to go a certain amount of rounds. You just said I was going to get $7 million to fight. It's over. Y'all can boo all you want to. But I'm going to cash this $7 million check. But there was a time when it wasn't the Saudis, it was the Americans who had the bargaining power in the boxing world. And the big-time fights were more evenly split amongst the USA and UK. Now, during this time, the best of the best were also regularly fighting against each other. And it wasn't taking an oil-rich nation to make these fights, right? And this is how, let me get up to my, I had some issues with my pictures today, so we are just going to be jumping around from picture to picture and all that type of stuff. I did not get them right in order. I don't know what happened. Miss Cass was talking to me and I was trying to, I don't know what happened. Blame somebody else, Ain't that how you do it? Yeah. And Miss Cass, I blamed the cat. Somebody. It wasn't my fault. But they ain't right. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? But I'm going to do my best. Okay. But anyway, this is how boxing was in the decade of the 1970s, right? Which is known as the heavyweight golden era. Now, there were many top names in the decade of the 70s, all with the ability to beat each other, such as Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Big George Foreman, the Eastern Assassin Larry Holmes, Ken Norton, Floyd Patterson, Ernie Shavers, Ron Lau, Jimmy Ellis, and the Argentinian, Oscar Bonavena. And most of these names fought each other, and some more than once. And that was without a boatload of cash being thrown at their feet, like the Saudis doing now, right? Okay, now I gotta find Joe Frazier. Man, I tell you, this is ridiculous. And you know what? I'm not even gonna worry about it. We don't need no pictures. We need them, but we're not gonna have them today. There's Joe Frazier right there. The next one up. Now, as the 70s began, right, Smoking Joe Frazier ruled the land, and he was recognized as the best heavyweight in the world, right? He was the reigning New York State Athletic Commission champion. And the New York State Athletic Commission title became part of the World Boxing Council, WBC, causing an undisputed fight between Frazier and World Boxing Association WBA champion Jimmy Ellis in February 1970. Now, Frazier defeated Ellis in the 4th round, becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion, the first since the suspension of Muhammad Ali in 1967. Right, because WBA, WBC back then was undisputed, right? We didn't have no IBF and WBO and the interim green, undisputed European, British champion. We didn't have none of that back then, right? WBA and WBC was it, okay? And through most of the 70s, a lot of the 70s, one man had both of them, okay? Which Joe Frazier beat Kid Norton in 1970 to attain both of them. Look at them big words. Attain is a big word to me. Now speaking of Ali, the greatest of them all, he had his suspension and removal of his boxing license due to his refusal to fight in the Vietnam War. He had that revoked, and it was returned to the Swede. He had all that revoked. And he returned to the Swede sides after a 3-year forced absence. And when the news was announced that Ali was coming back, the super fight between Ali and Frazier began being talked about. And it would eventually become a reality in March of the next year, 1971. Because both of those guys really had a realistic claim to the title, because Ali never lost it in the ring. He was undisputed champion in 1967 when they stripped him. But through no fault of Joe Frazier's, Joe Frazier actually won it in the ring. So they both had a claim to it, right? And unlike nowadays, they wouldn't even fight nowadays. They got the ring and settled it, okay? And Ali really went overboard with the criticism, because Joe, they had a tournament in 67 after Ali was suspended to fight for his undisputed titles. And in support of Ali, Joe boycotted the tournament and didn't even fight in it. He won the titles later after the tournament. He took it from the winners. But Joe boycotted the tournament in respect and support of Ali, and Ali treated him like he treated him. That was wrong. Okay? So now let's move on. Yeah, they actually fought in March 1971. But we're going to talk about Big George first. I'm doing okay finding these things so far. I'm jumping, but I know what all these people look like. Is that Big George? Yeah, that's Big George right there. And Joe Frazier. That was all. Let me do a good job. I patted myself on the back. I'm doing a good job finding them, but they all out of order. I don't know what happened. My cat was talking to me. Oh, no, it was Miss Cash, not the cat. I forgot. Yeah. But we're going to get it. So let's continue. In August 1970, George Foreman, who was 21-0 at the time, took on prominent Canadian challenger George Chuvalo. Now, Foreman destroyed Chuvalo, taking him out in round 3 to continue his path to the top. George was destroying everybody then, man. That's why we was like, Ali, let him have it. We don't need you to be champion. Do not fight George Foreman, because that might be the end of your career. But Ali put that rope-a-dope on him. Just Do Boxing in the building. What's up, Just Do Boxing? That's who I'm warming you up for. 4 o'clock p.m. Just Do Boxing. Unbiased boxing talk. Everybody gets to just do it, Just Do Boxing. Right? Salute Just Do Boxing. Okay. Yeah, we are talking about the golden era today of the heavyweights. Big George right now. Yeah, Big George was destroying everybody, and nobody I knew wanted Ali to fight. They said, let him have it. But Ali pulled out the rope-a-dope out of his toolbox, man. And Angelo Dundee, his trainer, said he found out about the rope-a-dope when everybody else did when we was watching the fight. He didn't even tell Angelo about it. Yeah, and George became one of the leading heavyweights of the 1970s golden era. And his story didn't end there. You know about George's second career. We're going to talk about that later, his second career. Now, Ali returned to the ring. I had a picture of Ali and Jerry Quarry. I don't know where it's at, man. I can't do two things at once. I can't talk and get the show together at the same time. No, I'm gonna tell the truth. The laptop was messed up and Miss Cass fixed it. And I didn't have time to get the pictures in. That's the truth. That's what really happened. I'm gonna stop because I don't know what that thing said. Choose sites to do something. So in case we go off, I will see y'all tomorrow. We ain't going nowhere. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. Free up space. I'm in the show. Why would I be trying to free up space? Okay, let's continue, man. I don't know what's wrong with this damn laptop. Christmas coming. I might get a new one. Okay. Now, Ali returned in October 1970 with a third-round stoppage of Jerry Quarry, who couldn't continue after a cut opened up near his left eye. Now, having been out of the ring for nearly 3 years, Ali showed a bit of ring rust, and Quarry was able to land some nice shots. But the cut near his eye started bleeding too much for the ringside doctor, who stopped the fight. Now, Ali had one more fight before his first clash with Smoking Joe Frazier. A 15-round TKO win over Oscar Bonavena. He had one more fight before the fight of the century with Smoking Joe Frazier. Okay? Everybody, yes, everybody. Okay. So, now Ali and Frazier finally met in March 1971 in a fight that would come to be known as the fight of the century. Now, that was the second one, because the first one way back, I think it was Jess Willard and Jack Johnson, like 1908, way back then. But this was the bigger one. And this was the biggest of the three fights. It wasn't the best, but it was the most iconic, the fight of the century, because like I was telling you, both of them had a claim to the title. Ali never lost it in the ring, but it wasn't Frazier's fault. Frazier won it in the ring, and Frazier actually boycotted the tournament they were having to replace Ali out of respect for Ali, because they was friends at first. Frazier loaned Ali money to help him pay his bills when Ali couldn't fight. They revoked his license, his passport, everything. They made sure this man wasn't fighting. And Frazier loaned him money. That's why I said it was so wrong the way Ali treated Frazier, man. But anyway, the fight of the century. Now, the two undefeated icons met at Madison Square Garden, New York City. It was a back-and-forth fight, but Frazier was leading by a small margin, as Ali was clearly trying to adjust to a fighter of Frazier's level. You know, he had been out of the ring for 3 years, and he hadn't fought anyone at that level since his second fight with Sonny Liston 6 years earlier in 1965. And late in the fight, Smoking Joe eventually dropped Ali, which proved decisive in securing a 15-round decision and handing Ali the first loss of his professional career. That was Ali's first loss to Smoking Joe. Fight of the century. Yeah, Donnie. Joe boycotted the tournament out of respect. Joe said, that man is the champion. I'm not participating in that tournament. But when somebody won it, Joe took the belt from him. I think it was Jimmy Ellis. No. I forgot who it was. He unified with Jimmy Ellis. It might have been Oscar Bonavena. I'm not sure. But Joe ended up with the WBC and he unified it with Oscar Bonavena. So by the time him and Ali fought, he had the WBA, WBC, which was undisputed back around that time. Right? Okay. Now, after their first fight, after Frazier beat Ali in the first fight, Ali and Frazier had talks to have an immediate rematch. Now, I didn't know that. They was in talks to have an immediate rematch, but the talks fell apart, and that resulted in Frazier opting to fight Big George Foreman instead. Yeah. And Big George just destroyed Frazier, man. Dropped him 6 times in 2 rounds. Second round TKO. But Joe did finish on his feet. Yeah, Joe was tough. He kept getting up, man. But he also kept going down. To keep getting up, you got to keep going down, right? So yeah, George destroyed him, man. And that was Foreman's first heavyweight title. And Smoking Joe never fully recovered from that fight, right? He would rematch Foreman again in 1976, which ended in another TKO stoppage loss for Joe. And in those two fights, the second fight lasted 5 rounds, and Joe went down 2 more times. So in 2 fights for Foreman, lasted 7 rounds, Joe went down 8 times. Yeah, Foreman was just a terrible style matchup for Joe Frazier, man. Terrible. Now, Frazier would also go on to have 2 more fights against Ali in their legendary trilogy. But he lost both fights, and his career ended in 1981. And, Frazier and Ali actually retired a week apart, as much as their careers was intertwined. Frazier retired 1 week, 1981, and then Ali retired the very next week. Isn't that something incredible? Now, in the time between his first loss and the rematch with Frazier, the first fight that he lost to Frazier and the rematch, Ali picked up a win against former 2-time world heavyweight champion Floyd Patterson. But he suffered another loss, a split decision loss to Ken Norton in 1973. That's the fight where they said his jaw got broken in the second round. I still don't believe that. I think it was later in the fight, man. It's hard to fight 10 rounds with a broken jaw, constantly getting hit on. I know I would quit. I'm getting paid, so I don't know. They said it happened in the second round. It was a 12-round fight, but hey, Ali was a tough guy. But yeah, he lost that to Norton. But he immediately avenged that loss to Norton for split decision win in 1973, which I personally think Norton won. They fought 3 times. I don't think Ali won any of them. And by this time, Foreman had taken the title from Frazier, right? By the demolition we was just talking about, that 6th round, knockout. Second round knockout down 6 times. So once, because remember the talks between Ali and Frazier fell apart, so he fought Foreman. So now, once Foreman took the belts from Frazier, a fight between Ali and Foreman started to be talked about. And that eventually came to pass in October of 1974. I had all these pictures and stuff too, man. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. But this fight happened in October 1974, Ali and Foreman. Now, in the fight right before facing Big George, Ali avenged the first loss of his career for 12 unanimous decision over Joe Frazier. That's when they had their second fight, right before he fought Foreman. But Frazier had lost the belts by then. Ali or Frazier, neither was. I think Ali had a little minor belt, the North American Boxing Federation or something like that. But Foreman had the 2 big ones by that time. And Foreman, during that time, after he taking the belts, he won 2 destructive and early knockout wins against Jose Ramon and the same Ken Norton, who had given Ali so much trouble over a year earlier, right? So going into the Ali-Foreman fight, the perception of the majority of the boxing world was that Foreman, the undefeated heavyweight world champion, was going to destroy the 32-year-old Ali just like he was destroying everybody else, right? That's what everybody thought. Foreman going to destroy this guy, man. Ali, don't even fight him. We don't need to see that because you're not going to get the belts. You're going to go in there probably in your career because Ali was 32 by then. But boy, was we wrong. Was we wrong? Right? Now, when they met in Zaire in the Rumble in the Jungle, 1974, right? Don King did it up. Don King had a concert. He had all the big R&B acts of the day, Bill Withers and B.B. King. I think the Pointer Sisters, but then guess who headlined it? The Godfather of Soul himself, James Brown. Yeah, Don King was giving events before the Saudis was even heard of, man. Yeah. James Brown headlined it himself. That was the same fight week of the Ali Foreman fight. It's a movie now, too, called Soul Power. Pull it up, check it out. Pretty good. They talk about the fight and they show scenes from the concert. Soul Power, very good movie. But in the fight, Ali flipped the script. Now, Ali knew that Foreman would not be used to his speed and his stamina that he possessed, right? And along with the fact, Foreman was not used to going deep into fights. Foreman was destroying everybody in 2-3 rounds. So, at the same time, Ali was used to going deep into fights on a regular basis, right? That's where he came up with that rope-a-dope. And Big George ended up showing the exact holes that I was just talking about in his game. Stamina, not being used to going deep in fights, and they cost him dearly. Now, Ali held his own early in the fight, and then it resulted to his now famous rope-a-dope tactic, right? Rope-a-dope Foreman. I guess Foreman was the dope. He tired Foreman out and eventually dropped him and stopped him in the 8th round to shock the boxing universe and become 2-time undisputed heavyweight world champion. And at that point, he was only the second one to come back and win the title twice. The first one had been Floyd Patterson. Okay, Ali was only the second man at that point to win the heavyweight title 2 different times. Yep. Stop Big George Foreman. Now, Foreman would eventually recover his image, but it took him damn near 20 years later, right? But in the immediate aftermath of the Ali loss, Foreman really struggled, both mentally and physically. His next fight after Ali was against underdog Ron Lau, and it was an unexpected firefight. Now, Foreman got the win in the 5th round, but it was clear his mystique had been vanquished. You know, Ali had took that mystique about Foreman destroying everybody and being this unbeatable monster. Ali killed that. Nobody even believed that anymore. And Lau took it to him in there, yeah. Dropped him 2 times. So that mystique was gone about Big George being this unbeatable monster. That was gone. Now, Foreman went on to beat Frazier a second time. That's when we talked about it earlier. 1976. But he would suffer another loss against Jimmy Young in 1977. Told you that mystique was gone then. And he quietly slipped away from the sport before he started his incredible comeback in 1987, Big George, right? Now, after, let me see, let's go. Yeah, okay, I read that. Now, after the Thriller in Manila, there was no question that Ali was the undisputed king of the heavyweight division. And he secured the win in the trilogy against Frazier to solidify his reign as the champion and the king of the heavyweights, right? And he also scored his second win against Ken Norton in their trilogy, right? Which I think Norton won all 3 of them, to tell you the truth. And there were few contenders left to challenge Ali. And he took on feared puncher Ernie Shavers in 1977 and won a 15-round decision over Shavers. But he took a beating from Shavers, right? And many people called for him to retire after that beating. But Ali went on, right? To his own detriment. In his very next fight after Shavers, Ali lost the heavyweight championship again in a split decision loss against boxing novice Leon Spinks, who was only competing in his 8th professional fight, man. 8th professional fight, and he beat Ali, right? Yep. So at that point, Ali had started to lose the skills that had made him such a force in his prime. And he was looking more and more vulnerable. And losing to an inexperienced fighter like Leon Spinks. Plus, Ali was up in his 30s by that time. And it had never been more clearer. It was time for him to end his career. But Ali continued to ignore the signs. And he actually regained the portion of the championship later in 1978 in the rematch against Spinks. Because at that point, the WBA and WBC split. Remember, I told you Frazier put them back together in 71. And all through the 70s, we had a unified, undisputed champion. But when Spinks lost to Ali, Spinks gave Ali the rematch because that was a more lucrative fight. And the WBA kept recognizing Spinks, but the WBC said, no, we want you to fight our number 1 contender, Ken Norton. So when Norton signed with Ali, the WBC snatched their title up off of him and gave it to Norton. So now the belts are split again. Now this was Ali's 3rd time winning the heavyweight title once he took it back from Spinks. Remember, only man to do that at that point. But he was now only a shell of his former self. And he was clearly in the final stages of his career. And after the Spinks fight, he actually did retire. right? But he came out of retirement for fights against Larry Holmes and Trevor Berbick in the early 80s. And both fights ended very bad for the faded champion, you know. As Parkinson's disease was already taking over in those fights. Actually, in the second Spinks fight, he was showing signs of that Parkinson's. And Ali, like I told you, Ali and Frazier actually retired 1 week apart, man. Isn't that incredible? The way their careers were intertwined, they actually retired 1 week apart. Let me find Larry Holmes. There you go, Larry Holmes. Because now, Ali is out of the sport, right? Now that the Muhammad Ali era was over, it was time for a new great to take the reins, to take the heavyweight division into the 1980s. And the man to take these reins was the Eastern Assassin, Larry Holmes. Now, Holmes became the WBC heavyweight champion in June of 1978, defeating Ken Norton. Because remember when Ken Norton, when the WBC stripped Spinks and gave it to Norton, Holmes was Norton's first title defense. So Norton didn't have it long, right? Holmes beat him by unanimous decision, but it was a tough fight, man. It was a great fight. 1978, Holmes versus Norton, if you like old fights. That was a battle. But before the Norton fight, Holmes survived a hard knockdown in the 7th round on the way to a 12th round unanimous decision. That was against Ernie Shavers. And that was in a title eliminated in March of 1978 to get the right. The winner of that fight was the one that got the championship fight against Norton, which was Holmes, right? And throughout the rest of the late 70s, Holmes defeated Oscar Ocasio, Mike Weaver, and a rematch win over Shavers. And Holmes was now the flag bearer of the Blue Ribbon Division. And he reigned for 7 years. 20 straight title defenses, man. 20. Yeah, 7 years. 20 straight title defenses Holmes made. And, yeah. That's my pictures all up, but it's all good. Yeah, the 1970s was, the decade for the heavyweights, man. No doubt about it. Okay? No, not Jimmy Young. That's the one I was looking for. Now, the 1970s heavyweight fights and fighters holds up incredibly well to this day. Over 4 decades later, legendary fighters like Ali, Foreman, Frazier, Shavers, and Holmes, among others, regularly fighting each other makes the 70s a certainty to be named number 1 in any debate about the greatest periods in heavyweight history. And there's a reason why this decade of the 70s has been called so often the golden era of the Blue Ribbon Division. Okay, now let's look at some fighters from the 70s and some fantasy matchups against fighters from different eras. Fighters from the 70s. Yeah, we got a couple fantasy matchups for you today. Fighters from the 70s against some fighters from some different eras. Bear with me for a second, please. How's everybody today? Did everybody have a good weekend? Wasn't that something that referee, man? 117, 111 for Paro? That's 9 rounds to 3. Now, what they need to do, like I was saying earlier before everybody come in, they need to get that referee in a room with like somebody from the IBF, and the fight was in Puerto Rico, somebody from the boxing commission down there. Give him his card and say, now show us the 9 rounds you gave Paro. And I guarantee you that referee can't do it because he know damn well Paro didn't win no 9 rounds. Because people bet on scores too, and he was paid for that card, man. He needs to be investigated, man. And what made it so bad? Now, they called that score out first, and when the ring announcer said 117, 111 for Paro had the nerve to put his hand up like he really won 9 rounds. That man know damn well he ain't win no 9. He put his hand up, man. Like, Paro, if you don't put your damn hand down, I'm coming to that TV, man. He actually put his hand up like he won 9 rounds. Come on, man. And it's starting to happen every week now. We get some of these bogus. This is the worst. Now, boxing always been corrupt, but this is the worst right now, man. I thought they was gonna rob Hitchens. 117, 111. 9 rounds to 3 for Perro. And Perro gonna put his hand up like he really won 9 rounds. Come on, man. That shit is ridiculous, man. It messes the sport up, man. Because we know what we watched, right? We know what we watched. And we did not watch Perro. I watched it over. First, I gave Perro 3 rounds. After watching it over, I gave him 2. I took a round from him. So come on, man. These judges, man. And like I always say, it's not bad judging or incompetence, because these are professional judges who know what they're doing. It's not incompetence. It's corruption. It's cheating. Okay? These judges ain't that bad. They know what they're doing. They've been trained. It's cheating. He was paid for that card, man, because people bet on scores too. Even though Perro lost, somebody got paid for that 117, 111 that judge gave them, man. He need to be looked at. Remember, Eddie Hearn said they had disappeared. Remember, Eddie got in the ring and said his name. He said, I don't know what so-and-so was looking at, wherever he is, because Eddie must have went looking for him. Eddie was, in as many words that he couldn't find him. The man made his cheating ass score and disappeared. That's why they do it, because they don't answer for it. Them judges should be right in that press room after that fight answering questions. Give him his card and say, show me 9 rounds Perro won. He couldn't do it because he knew Perro didn't win 9 rounds. But yeah, ridiculous. But the first fantasy fight is, we got a fighter from the golden era of the 70s against the heavyweight from another era. Smoking Joe Frazier versus The Rock. Rocky Marciano. There they go. There they go right there. Smoking Joe Frazier versus The Rock. Rocky Marciano. Okay. BN Boxing News in the building. What's up, BN Boxing News? Another one of them fire JBT channels. What's up, BN? We talked about little history of the golden era of the heavyweight division. Now we're going to look at some of those fighters from the golden era and some fantasy matchups against some fighters from some different eras. I got a couple from today. But right now, Smoking Joe Frazier versus The Rock, Rocky Marciano. Now, this matchup is between 2 legendary heavyweights, which could be a brutal and close fight. Now, Marciano could have success, right, with his conditioning and power, while Smoking Joe could have the advantage due to his superior size and left hook, right? Now, it would definitely be an intense battle of attrition between 2 relentless pressure fighters. Both of these fighters had unquestionable courage, toughness, durability, and character. Both could punch, and both could take a punch. And both were very popular, great gentlemen outside the ring. Yeah, both of these guys were very popular outside the ring. That's why, I always say Ali was wrong for the way he treated Frazier. And Frazier loaned the man money when he couldn't pay his bills, when he wouldn't let him fight and stuff. Loaned him money. And I told you when they had the tournament to replace Ali after he got suspended, Frazier boycotted the tournament, didn't even compete in it out of respect for Ali. They treated that man like that, man. That's why when Ali lit that torch in Atlanta in 96, Frazier said, he lucky I ain't there, because I would push his ass right in there with that flames. Frazier never forgave him for that. Now, they were together sometimes in public, and Frazier put on a good face, but he really never forgave Ali for the way he treated him. He really didn't. Now, the advantage is for Marciano in this fight. The Rock never lost, 49-0 with 43 knockouts, 6 successful title fights. Now, keep in mind, if Smoking Joe fought the same resume the Rock fought, Smoking Joe would be 49-0 too, because Smoking Joe only lost to Ali and Foreman, that's it. And if The Rock fought in the same era with Ali and Foreman, he would not have been 49-0, okay? He would have had the same losses Smoking Joe had against Ali and Foreman, and probably a few more. But them the only ones beat Smoking Joe. But anyway, The Rock knocked out 3 former world heavyweight champions, Joe Louis, Jersey Joe Walcott, and Ezra Charles. And Marciano also knocked out the world light heavyweight champion, Archie Moore. Now, no fighter was ever in better condition than Marciano, not even Floyd. And The Rock didn't play that taking your kids, running around while you're in training. The Rock didn't play that. Rock be like, I catch your birthday after this fight. If your birthday during Rocky's training camp, his children or something, even his wife, you're going to have to wait. Rock did not have no babies. And you know how nowadays they sitting in the ring and the baby standing there looking in the ring. No, Rock didn't play that. Charlie Goodman was one of the best teachers, trainers, fight strategists ever. Charlie was perfect for Marciano. And The Rock could knock out an opponent with either hand. And people may say many of Marciano's opponents were over the hill. They didn't get on my nerves when they say that. But Walcott had his greatest fight against Marciano in their first fight and still suffered a 13th round knockout. And guess what else Walcott was when he fought Marciano? They say he was over the hill. Guess what he was? He was the world heavyweight champion. So how in the hell is that over the hill? When nobody else beating him? So come on. And Ezra Charles, Joe Louis, and Archie Moore were older fighters, but they were still tough, cunning, crafty, worthy contenders. Ezra wasn't that old. Archie and Joe was. But Joe was the number one contender when Rocky fought him. And after he fought Archie Moore had 30 more fights, only lost one. So they say they was over here. Wasn't nobody else beating these guys, okay? But Rocky beat them. Now, the advantages for Smoking Joe, Frazier. He had one of the best left hooks in boxing history, hands down. And Frazier really suffered cuts. The only time he ever was cut was against George Foreman. Now, his eyes would puff up like both of them did against Ali, but he rarely was cut. And Frazier was extremely quick. Ali, Query, Ellis, Mathis, Foster all found Frazier to be a harder target to hit than they thought he was. And Frazier would have a significant weight advantage over Rocky. You know, and Frazier wasn't even a big heavyweight himself, but he was a 205 against Ali in their first fight, which was his greatest fight ever. This was 17 to 20 pounds heavier than what Marciano ever fought at, because Rocky fought like 185. Now, The Rock had the shortest reach in heavyweight history, 67 inches. Look at that big old heavyweight, 67 inches. That's the reach of people like Tank and the Monster. Rocky was a heavyweight with a 67-inch reach. Incredible. I did not know that. Wow. Ain't that something, Thomas Hill? A heavyweight with a 67-inch reach. That's the shortest reach in heavyweight history. But the legendary Thomas Hill in the building. What's up, Thomas Hill? Hashtag JBT. Okay. Joe Frazier against Rocky Marciano. Okay. Now that 67-inch reach would not be a big negative against Frazier because Rocky and Joe were both infighters, so reach really wouldn't make a difference. Now, Marciano was a very small heavyweight. In fact, in his later years, his fighting weight would make him a cruiserweight. Nowadays, yeah. And Marciano frequently got, like Joe never cut, Rocky frequently got cut. And many times the cuts were severe. His nose gash against Ezra Charles in their second fight almost cost Rocky the fight. And Rocky had to get him up out of there. And he got him up out of there because that nose gash was bad. And the referee was looking at it hard, and Rocky got the stoppage. One of them type of fighters who did what he had to do, man. Because he might not have made it the distance with the way he was cut. Now, Rocky went 49-0. Like I was saying before, Frazier would have went 49-0 against Rocky's opponents. And, you know, with Frazier's resume, Rocky would have had some losses. On March 8th, 1971, the night of his first fight with Ali, Frazier had arguably the best performance of his career. Best performance of a lot. Few fighters could ever say they had that type of performance. Now, prime versus prime, Frazier stops Marciano in the late, middle, or later rounds. Frazier's size advantage and quickness would be the difference in this matchup. Now, Rocky was an all-time great who was never beaten. But like I said, if Rocky fought in the golden era of heavyweights in the 70s and faced Frazier, Ali, Foreman, Norton, he would not be unbeaten, okay? And he would not be able to handle the attack of a bigger, quicker Smoking Joe, okay? Now the next one is Larry Holmes versus Lennox Lewis. Just couple heavyweights from the golden era against some heavyweights from other eras. And I got my pictures out of order, so I don't know. I just had Larry Holmes and Lennox Lewis. You got one of Lennox Lewis too. I don't know. Larry Holmes versus Lennox Lewis, of course, at heavyweight, right? Okay. Now, Larry Holmes was known for his exceptional jab, footwork, and stamina, successfully defending his title 20 times. Holmes had a solid chin and was known for his ability to go the distance in his fights, right? Now, Lennox Lewis, he was a powerful heavyweight with a strong combination of size, skill, and knockout power. He was the first heavyweight champion to hold a WBA, WBC, and IBF titles simultaneously. First three-weight heavyweight champion. And he had notable wins over top fighters, including Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, and Vitaly Klitschko. Lewis was also known for his tactical approach and his ability to adapt to different types of styles. Now, the fight between Holmes and Lennox would be a very exciting matchup between two master boxer punchers. Now, I would lean toward Holmes by close decision. Holmes had the best jab of any heavyweight boxer since Sonny Liston, and he worked everything off of that jab: hooks, uppercuts, straight rights, everything. And Holmes could box and he could bang. Now, Lennox also had a great jab. Wasn't as bad as Holmes, but Lennox had a great jab too. And he was an excellent boxer who wasn't afraid to slug it out if he had to. But for two reasons. Number one, he had a better chin. Holmes took Ernie Shaver's best shot and got up and stopped Shaver's. He took Jerry Cooney's best shot and stopped Jerry Cooney. Lennox was knocked out by Hasim Rahman and lost by TKO to Oliver McCall, hurt bad by Oliver. Neither had anywhere near the power of a Shavers or a Cooney, right? And Lennox was also giving two brutal fights. One a draw by a beaten up 37-year-old Evander Holyfield, who had also been through some wars with Riddick Bowe and Mike Tyson before he fought Lewis, right? And Lennox was given trouble by glass-jawed Tommy Morrison before stopping him. And he slipped by Vitaly Klitschko on a cut. Klitschko had him beat. It hadn't been for that cut. They had to stop the fight. The Lennox had a tendency to try to slug it out when hurt, and that would be his undoing against Larry Holmes. Holmes wins by decision or possibly a late stoppage. Okay? By decision or possibly a late stoppage for Larry Holmes. Muhammad Ali versus Teofilo Stevens. Okay? Teofilo never turned professional, but Muhammad Ali versus Teofilo Stevens. Just think if he had. Okay. Excuse me for a minute, please. Just Do Boxing coming up at 4 p.m. Then we got BVO Boxing TV at 8. And the Mighty Rise podcast shut the day down at 9. Earlier in the day, Crush the Legend at 6 a.m. with the coffee and the donuts. Jay Hardcore with the scrabbling eggs at 8 a.m. Cash Sports with the oodles and noodles at 2 p.m. And then we, carry on. Muhammad Ali versus Teofilo Stevens, of course, at heavyweight. Now, Teofilo Stevenson never fought more than 3 rounds in a fight in his life. So, through no fault of his own, right? Cuban boxers couldn't, during Stevenson's era, and currently still aren't allowed to become professionals. Right? Still not allowed to become pros, right? Now, had he been allowed to turn professional and work with a top boxing trainer, Teofilo, no doubt, would have done well. Excuse me. If Stevenson had come up through the professional ranks and fought 10, 12, 15 rounds on a regular basis. He had the skills to be another of the great heavyweights of the 1970s. Now, a lot of fighters Stevenson actually beat in the amateur ranks actually became champions at the professional ranks, right? So there's no reason whatsoever to believe that Teofilo Stevenson couldn't have been an outstanding professional heavyweight boxer. Now, Ali would have fought him. He told Stevenson that when he visited him, when they met in Cuba. But hopefully, a fight between them would have happened before Ali got old. You know, if this fight had happened in the late 70s or early 80s after Ali had lost to and then beat Leon Spinks, it would have meant absolutely nothing. No one would have wanted to see Ali losing to Teofilo Stevenson. Nobody but the Cuban fans. I know I wouldn't. Now, the Cassius Clay / Muhammad Ali pre-1967 trounces any version of Teofilo Stevenson. No heavyweight in boxing history beats that Ali. I'm sorry. Now, Teofilo would have a hard time catching up to and hitting that Clay / Ali with clean punches. Teofilo didn't have the foot speed to keep up with 1967 Clay / Ali, and he stopped Stevenson between 6 and 9 rounds in a scheduled 15-round fight. Now, the early to mid-70s Ali will win by late stoppage. Aside from using his speed, he would constantly tie Teofilo up and lean on his neck in order to wear Stevenson down. You know how Ali did it. Teofilo would be weakened and exhausted by the 8th round. In a 15-round fight, 70s Ali stops prime Stevenson in around the 12th round. 15-round fight. Round 12. Yeah. Teofilo stops him. Okay? All right. Couple more. It's 327. Ron Lyle versus Vitaly Klitschko. Ron Lyle versus Vitaly Klitschko. Okay? I had Ron Lyle. So pictures will return tomorrow. I don't know what happened. I don't know who fought it was. I don't blame Miss Cass. I don't blame the cat. I don't know what happened. Okay? But anyway, Ron Lyle versus Vitaly Klitschko. Now, comparing these two fighters involves looking at their styles, physical attributes, careers, and eras they fought in. Now, I'll start with this. Lyle competed in the greatest era in heavyweight history, while Klitschko competed in arguably the weakest. Remember? The weakest. Now, Ron Lyle was known for his powerful punching and aggressive style. He had a record of 43 wins, 32 by knockout, and he was a tough competitor in the heavyweight division during the 1970s. Lyle had notable fights against other heavyweight contenders and champions like George Foreman, Muhammad Ali. George Foreman and Muhammad Ali, yeah. And among a few others. Now, Vitaly Klitschko is considered one of the best heavyweights of all time, right? He had a professional record of 45 wins, 41 by knockout. That's a serious knockout rate, okay? 45 wins, 41 by knockout. Let me see what that is. %, yeah, because he got a lot of fights. That's up there, 91%, yeah. 91% knockout rate. And he only had 2 losses. And Klitschko was known for his height, 6'7", reach, and technical boxing skills, combined with considerable power and stamina. He held the WBC heavyweight title multiple times. And he was known for his ability to control fights with his jab and defensive skills. Now, as far as this matchup, Ron Lyle would not be fazed too much by Klitschko's boxing skills. Lyle would bang from round 1 and the next and on from there until either he or Klitschko gave up. And having looked at both of them, nothing tells me Lau would give up. On the other hand, would Klitschko have been able to hang with Lau's firepower? For an answer, let's look at Ernie Shavers, the hardest puncher the sport has known, who knocked Lau down a few times, but got knocked out by Lau. George Foreman said he had never been hit as hard in his career as he was by Lau, and he got put down twice by Lau, remember? Jarrell Hattie in the building. What's up, Jarrell? Salute. What the likes looking like anyway? Oh man, they not bad. Ooh-wee. What's up, Jarrell Hattie? How was your weekend, bro? How you like them fights? We're gonna talk about them in a minute because I'm gonna cut this short in a minute. Got to get some late time. I had to get some late time. 3:30. But yeah, we're gonna Lau and Klitschko. Yeah, Lau was a big puncher. Him and Foreman, he dropped George Foreman 2 times. He ended up losing, but 5-round fight of the year. Foreman said he never been hit as hard as he was by Lau, right? And a boxer can box and run, but against a well-conditioned and fit Lau and his durable chin, Vitaly takes a nap between rounds 7 and 10. Now let's talk about Leon Spinks, this fighter from that era, right? The man, the boxing novice that beat Ali with 7 fights. Leon Spinks went from a novice boxer to a heavyweight champion by winning a gold medal at the 1976 Olympics in the light heavyweight division, then quickly transitioned into the professional ranks where he shocked the boxing universe, defeating the greatest, Muhammad Ali, in just his 8th professional fight to claim the world heavyweight title, marking one of the biggest upsets in sports history, not just boxing, like Buster Douglas, sports history. However, he lost the title in his very next fight, a rematch against Ali, right? And his career later declined despite his initial success. Now, Spinks gained notoriety for the disaster his career became, okay, following his loss to Ali. But he did challenge for the WBC heavyweight title in 1981, losing to Larry Holmes by TKO in the 3rd round. And he also challenged for the WBA cruiserweight title in 1986, losing to Dwight Muhammad Qawi by TKO in the 6th round. And Leon was a decorated amateur boxer, culminating with that gold medal in the Montreal in 1976, along with his younger brother Michael, who also won gold. Michael won in the middleweight division. And Leon served in the United States Marine Corps from 1973 to 1976, rising to the rank of corporal. He was stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune in North Carolina, and he was a member of the Marine Corps boxing team. Now check this out. Leon became the first former champion in history to lose to a boxer making his professional debut. Only former heavyweight champion to lose to a boxer making a professional debut when he was knocked out by John Carlo in 1994. Damn, Leon. Now, Spinks' final fight was December 4th, 1995, an 8-round unanimous decision loss. He retired it with a total of 46 fights, winning 26, losing 17, with 3 draws, and 14 knockouts. And Leon was inducted into the Las Vegas Boxing Hall of Fame in 2017. Damn. Anybody can get in the Las Vegas Boxing Hall of Fame. Let's do one more. This is a good one here. Big George Foreman had to do at least one from a 70s boxer against this era. Big George Foreman versus Tyson Fury. Big George Foreman versus Tyson Fury. Okay? Let's do that one. And then we're going to drop the link. Let's define Arnie Winner. I haven't seen him in a couple of days. Anybody seen Define Arnie around the chats? Around the JBT streets? JBC streets? Streets? No, the JBT streets? Anybody seen Define Arnie around the JBT streets? Is he in here and I missed him? I was trying to find George Foreman. I don't think I put the picture on here. No. Okay, George Foreman versus Tyson Fury. Do this real quick, then we're gonna drop the link. Prime Big George was a different beast entirely. Foreman was incredible Hulk strong. He had extreme power in both hands, a left jab that stabbed with blunt force trauma, and frightening ring-cutting ability that was the stuff of nightmares. But as powerful as Big George was, he could be susceptible to slick outside fighting. Smart boxers like Fury. Remember, Ali, Jimmy Young, and Gregorio Peralta all gave Big George trouble. Now, despite his antics, Fury has some good boxing skills. He's a slickster, possesses good ring IQ, and he's armed with decent hands, with a soft touch. He's big, tall, and rangy as well. Now, I could see Fury giving Foreman some trouble early, but not for long. Fury doesn't have the power to bother Foreman. Plain and simple. Just look at his disastrous performance against Francis Ngannou, right? Who was significantly stronger than Fury, and Fury struggled to lean on Ngannou and wear him down. Fury likes to manhandle opponents, and like Ngannou, he definitely would not be able to manhandle Big George Foreman. Remember, Foreman pulls cars up hills and knocks out cows. Big George could likely pick Fury up and toss him into the audience if he felt like it, right? Now, if Fury tried to fight inside, he would get overpowered and caught by the same uppercuts that gave Joe Frazier so much trouble. And eventually he would be stopped. That's just like Smoking Joe. Now, the only option Fury would have would be to run for his life from the outside. Foreman would walk Fury down, pin him on the ropes, and beat him up. Fury doesn't have the defense or power to keep Big George at bay, and Fury would go down for good in 6 rounds or less, as Foreman wins by knockout, if the referee or Fury's corner doesn't stop it first. Let's drop the link in here, man. We got like 20 minutes. Got to get some link time, okay? This Melanie Queen, let you know about the raffle. And yeah, now the raffle is, the winner gets everything. You know, we switched it up. It's not half and half no more. Whoever wins gets the entire pot. Right now it's $215. So right now, $5 will get you $215. So remember I was saying you could get me a $100 present that has $750 in your pocket. Half of $215. Now you can get me a $100 present and have $15 in your pocket. Or when I cash app you the $215 or whatever, just cash app the $100 straight back to me. That's all. And we'll be good. I'm happy. I don't need no present. Cash is the best present. I can go out and buy what I want. But all jokes aside, the winner gets the entire pot now. Stands at $215 right now. You know, we made that decision Saturday. Give them all of it. It's Christmas. You know. So get in it. It's moving kind of slow right now. But I find the closer we get to the raffle, the more it picks up normally. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, winner take all now. It's not half and half no more. It's winner take all. Good luck to everybody. Melanie Queen got the Cash App, everything in there for you. $, all capital letters, JBT Network. 1. The number 1, not word, number 1. Yeah, Melanie Queen got it in there. I'm trying to get this link in here. I better pay attention to what I let Melanie Queen do what she do best in this chat. The best moderator of moderators. In the history of moderators. Not just now, in the history of moderators. Okay. And I'm definitely not the best person that put the link in the history of putting the link in. Not even close. But I get it in the first time every time now. T Hill haven't said wrong link lately in a while. But how's everybody? It's Monday. We got another big week of boxing history coming at you. Remember, tomorrow is the middleweight division. We're going to talk about a little history. Some former middleweight boxers and some current middleweight boxers too. Look at some of the top middleweight fights of all time. And then Wednesday, we got a show coming out of the chat. Another Fighter Profile brought to you by Mike Mazik. The life and career of Jolton Jeff Chandler, man. That's a good one too. And I was reading that thing. I read it straight through. I couldn't stop. You know, you get a book and can't put it down. I was reading about Jolton Jeff Chandler. I read the whole thing about his life. Didn't stop. Man. Former champion. Y'all will find out Wednesday. Be here or be square. Brought to you by Mike Mazik. They like to take shows out of the chat on Wednesdays. And got another one. Oh, that's not right. I'm getting ready to mess up. See? There we go. Now that's right. And what I got to do now? Copy it and paste it and all that kind of stuff. I think. Let's see. Try that, y'all. Try that on for size, y'all. But appreciate everybody rocking with me this Monday. How was everybody's weekend? That judge was a trip, though, man. He gave Piero 9 rounds to 3. I can't get over that, man. They need to sit that judge down with his card and say, now show us these 9 rounds you're talking about, man. And I guarantee you he can't do it because he knows Piero didn't win no 9 rounds. No way, man. Come on. 9 rounds to 3. What's up, Jaw? Did you get in, bro? Yeah. You in?
You hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, man. Loud and clear.
Good.
Did you see the fights this weekend?
Yeah, I watched some of them. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about, too.
You see Hitchens?
Yeah, I seen it.
What do you think about that judge? He gave Piero 9 rounds, man. Wasn't that crazy?
I mean,
I thought they was going to rob him.
I want to see more from Hitchens, though. I can't complain about his performance, but I want to see him turn it up.
I agree with that. I agree 100%. Because he wasn't
He
fighting.
kind of looked like he leveled out as a fighter, like. But you always got more to learn, though.
That's true.
So I want to see more out of Hitchens.
Oh yeah. I agree with that. I was saying that, thinking that same thing before this fight. I didn't see Jaleel fight. That was like early in the day or so. Did they show that one? I don't think so. Jaleel Hackett.
What you think about that fight?
I didn't even see it, man. When
I
was that? Was
watched
on?
it.
It was on earlier, wasn't it? I missed it.
I don't remember exactly when.
Yeah, it wasn't like on the main card. Did you see it though?
Yeah, I seen it. I mean, from Jaleel Hackett, like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they should have gave it a draw if they was going to do anything and not give somebody the decision knowing. I want to see it what he'd do in a rematch. But like for him, he young, but
yeah,
I want to see.
You still there?
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. Mm-hmm. Now finish what you were saying. You said you wanted to see he's young. Then that was the last thing I heard from him. I remember his last fight. I was kind of like late in the fight, he got kind of like I want to say lackadaisical. Like he kind of like let up some, you know. The fight before this one, I thought he did, you know. He didn't keep.
They was saying the commentators was saying he was having trouble making weight. I ain't really see that. I seen him. He had a good gas tank the whole fight.
Yeah.
It was just more like it was like an immaturity thing. Like he was just in there throwing punches. Like I want to see him be more strategic, more efficiency behind this. Cause he got a good work rate. But like
Yeah.
if he more accurate with his punches, like sometimes he do a throwaway punches
I
where
know.
he just
Yeah,
throwing,
that is true.
and then he just kind of like at the same pace the whole fight. Like if he more strategic, I think he could probably get a lot of guys out of there. He in a tough weight class though.
He had 140. Where's he at? 147?
I think he had 147.
Yeah. That's a tough one for him.
But he in shape. He got the skills. You know, he definitely a Doug. Like he be in there fighting. Like I want to see him more strategic. Like, but I don't think they should have gave old boy the win over him though. I don't think
Nah.
he did enough to
Yeah, I
get
didn't
the
even
win.
see it. I heard about it. I'm gonna have to watch that one. That's the first loss though, right? Wasn't that the first one? I think.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's his first loss.
You heard about it. I didn't see
And make
it.
it seem like it's not his first loss because the way like he ain't really efficient with his
Okay.
offense ain't that efficient, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't
Like
think
he
he
lost
gotta
focus
take.
sometimes or something, you know?
Yeah, I
Like
don't
they
want to see him in a war every fight. Like you don't have to do that. I want to see some more IQ out of him. Like
Yeah.
see what he could do,
Yeah.
setting up traps and all of that, doing that
Stuff
the
like
whole
that.
fight, the whole way through. He'll probably be out of there without even breaking a sweat in a 12 rounder.
This loss might wake him up, you know. Well, Melanin Queen said Define Arnie was in the hangout last night. Okay, thank you, Melanin Queen. I think he was supposed to have been at the fight Saturday. Define Arnie was, yeah.
Who
He
was
got
that? That
with-
Valdez. You seen that fight?
Yeah, I saw that one. Oh man,
Who was that? He was fighting Navarrete.
Navarrete, yeah, man. He put something
Yeah,
on.
I like Navarrete. He definitely got a new fan like out of me.
Yeah, man. He didn't
Yeah,
play.
he was with the drunken Mexican gorilla style. Like he came off a 16 pack. Oh my goodness, like I like that style.
Yeah, he destroyed him, man. But then he dropped. I think the first drop was in the first round, wasn't it? I think, yeah. And I think he got it like 3 times. The last time he got that liver shot, that was it. I knew he wasn't getting up. I saw where he hit him at. And that liver, that's it. That's worse than a headshot. You get that liver right, man. I saw the way Valdez.
Yeah, he was in his element. He was in his element in that fight. I like that.
Yeah, he was comfortable, man. He looked like he was comfortable from the jump. You know, when it started out. There's Ant. What's up, Ant? When the fight started out, yeah, Navarrete was. I was impressed.
What's going on, James?
What up, Ant? Salute. Nah, I don't want to see. I don't want to see him move up to 135 yet. I want to see because at first I had Oshaki as the best at 130, but like after really looking at Navarrete, like I gotta give it to him because
he said he wanted the winner. He was there.
Yeah,
too.
I think he was a little bit anxious about having to fight Navarrete. Plus, Navarrete not the biggest name as Valdez, but like I want to see that fight. Oshaki hit a little bit different. The styles is different. Oshaki way more slicker, so I'm like, let me see how you would do.
Yeah,
but I got Navarrete. When he might win it, I don't know though. Oshaki not a joke.
A lot slicker, like you said, He's gonna be harder to hit than Valdez was. You know, I think. Yeah. What's up, Ed? What you think about this weekend, man?
Man, my guy Josh spot on with Jaleel Hackett. Because I promise you, I was thinking the same thing as I was watching him. I feel like he made that fight way harder on himself than it had to be.
Damn.
Just by being a dog, and you know, his father's always speaking to that. Mr. Bernard always talking about, you know, Jaleel like to fight, but like Josh said, sometimes you got to be a little bit tactful.
Right, exactly.
But that's going out there and just pressing. There was quite a few moments in that second half of the fight where he was literally walking himself in the shots from dude. Then with the holding, that was one of the points of contention. The guy kept holding, but if you watch the fight, the guy is trying to evade Jaleel. He's on the back foot trying to get away. The only way that man could be able to hold him is if Jaleel is falling in. And he was smothering a lot of his work. I like him inside. I like his inside game. His inside game nice. I like the way he was catching shots off the gloves, rolling with shots, countering back. His left hook is crispy on the inside. But it seems like when he's closing the distance, I was watching his feet.
Yeah.
Like damn near every time he throws a punch from range, like he's falling in. And I don't know if that's a technique thing or if that's just him just being so aggressive that he's like overlooking his technique. But either way, from the outside, I feel like he cleaned that up a little bit. Be more strategic, like Ja was saying. I feel like the sky's the limit for him because he definitely got a good gas tank and a good work rate. And the other thing that I thought that Ja said was spot on was with the same speed thing. That's the one thing we see with a lot of these guys who steamroll guys early on in their career. Yeah. As they fight guys that are far more experienced, they don't get away with fighting at the same speed for the entire fight. Them guys get acclimated to the shots. They're able to see them. They're able to brace for them. But if you look at the guys who maintain a high KO ratio as they, grow with the level of experience in opposition, those are the guys who know how to set traps. Guys like Bud, guys like Tank. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes, they know how to walk you into a shot, catch you with something you don't see. And I feel like with Jaleel, if he ever cultivates that, then he's got a lot of other stuff to work with because he's a big guy at 147.
Yes,
when you look at his frame, he's big. He got a hell of a motor. He seemed like he got solid punching power. I don't think his punching power is the issue because I saw some people were questioning his punching power. The last two fights, the fight against Dobson and this other dude, but both of them dudes are guys that are in their early 30s that have been around. These guys are experienced. So you ain't gonna be able to just walk up to them and just club them over the head. Right. They know how to survive. So like Josh said, you gotta be a little bit more strategic, man. You gotta catch these guys with something that they're not braced for. But if you press and press and press in the whole fight, that guy gonna get acclimated to that. He gonna find a way to survive.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that it is him being aggressive. Like I think he's so in shape and he been doing it for so long. Like I think it's more about his aggression. Like, cause if he was just to like how many punches he be throwing in a fight, if he was to just like break that up and just overwhelm his opponents at just certain strategic times where he just throwing combinations, I think he'd stop most of his opponents.
That's interesting.
Like just overwhelming with combinations at certain spurts in the fight. Like don't just do it the whole way through the fight. Yeah, like he young too. I want to see him. I don't want to see him being too many wars, like where he taking a lot of punishment.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
Nah. What you think about that Navarrete and Valdez, sir? The other call.
I think what Ja just said, man, again, like what he said about Jaleel, I feel like that applies to Valdez. Like Valdez only lost to two guys, right? He only lost to Shakur Stevenson and Navarrete, but now we're starting to see.
Yeah, that's it.
What we starting to see though, his past couple of fights, them joints been kind of rough. Even the ones that he's won, like the one he won against Adam Blue Nose Lopez. Yeah, he had that other fight that he won the fight, but his jaw got broke. Like bro, been in too many wars, and I think that now it's starting to take a toll on him.
Yeah,
he's just not looking as explosive as he used to be.
Not even close, man. Damn, I didn't expect.
He's always showing a good shin.
Damn,
I didn't expect him to go either, but. The thing is like even when he got hit with the liver shot, you could tell that he wanted to get up. Yeah, but his body just wasn't cooperating. And I think that he's just at that point where he's just had so many wars. Like when you in fights where your eye getting busted up, your jaw getting broke, and those are fights that you're winning. That's not even you know what I mean. Those aren't even losses.
Yeah, that's right.
That stuff accumulates, man.
Yeah, it does.
That stuff accumulates, and I think that's where Valdez. I think that's where he might be. Just like. He been in too many damn dog fights.
I know. Like you say, even the fights that he winning, he getting all beat up.
Even the fights he winning, he getting his jaw broke.
Yeah.
Plus he was head hunting, man. I feel like the jab is like a lost sport, a lost art in the sport. And I feel like going to the body is like lost too. Like Valdez was barely throwing any body shots that whole fight. Like what you
Yeah.
expect? What you gonna do? Like he just running in there, running into shot. He already the smaller man. That body right in there, basically eye level with you. Like hit that joint. Like he wasn't even.
Yeah,
He was trying to
that's
hook him
true.
to death.
That is true. Yeah.
He did stab to the body a few times, but then when he abandoned it, I'm asking myself, like, why did he go away from that?
Yeah.
Like, why did he go away from that?
Man?
Yeah,
Why
he
did you
was
go
in
away
there.
from that?
Have a chance.
I
Yeah.
feel
You
like he
gotta
definitely
jab
could have
it,
broke him
man.
down a little
Come
bit.
on.
Yeah, jab him, stab him to the body, even jab at his chest, try to stabilize him, especially with a guy like Navarrete, because Navarrete,
Yeah.
I'll say this, the one thing that I'm starting to really appreciate about him
Mm-hmm.
is despite the fact that his technique is ugly,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
he has a good handle on what he does have. Because you see some other guys that have far better technique than he does, but they don't take the certain chances that he takes. Like that uppercut that he caught Valdez with, when
Yeah,
he
he
counted
was asking to be hit
right
by the
hand,
uppercut, man. God damn.
Yeah, that was.
but he
That
counted
was
underneath the joint and then he knocked the mouthpiece out. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, you don't see a lot of guys attempt that type of like that's risky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
That's risky.
I think, Tim Bradley had said something like that.
Counter a right hand underneath.
Mhm. Yeah,
that
underneath. That was
You know what I
something,
mean?
wasn't it? That was
He
beautiful.
looked like he perfected his own style of boxing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He came up
That's
under
what I'm
that
saying.
bad
Like
boy.
he's not as mindless as I thought. I still think his technique is shaky as hell because he be doing a lot of stuff that's just cardinal sins, like crossing his feet and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Falling in when he throws
Valdez
certain
seemed like
shots.
he just can't stop leaning forward like that, man. I mean,
It's
damn.
that high guard trap,
correct
man.
that.
This is what we were talking about the other day, Cass. Is that high guard
Yeah.
trap? He trying to set up that left hook, but he set it up the same way every time.
Every
The
time.
issue with that
That's
is
all he
his
was
high guard
doing.
is static as hell.
Yeah. Damn.
That's all he was doing, trying to set up that hook. That's it.
Yep. Winging hooks.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I want to see Navarrete versus Oshaki, though, because either one of them guys, it's a 50-50 fight. Oshaki probably got the advantage, though, as far as experience, skill. He's slick, he's fast. But I know
It's a good style
Navarrete
matchup.
got the size advantage. And
Yep.
he in his element, though, too.
That would be good.
But Oshaki not no Oscar Valdez. He ain't going to be able to touch him.
He was there. So,
But he be fading, too, sometimes. Oshaki be fading in the later rounds, so I don't know.
yeah, you're right about that. I noticed that too.
What's going to be key for Oshaki is if he's going to be as conservative as he typically is, he got to make sure that his work is super, super clean.
Yeah.
Super clean. The one thing about Navarrete is even if Oshaki is more efficient, Navarrete's work rate is crazy too. That's another thing. That dude's got an engine on him. So you can mess around and get swamped by activity. And clearly he got enough crack on them punches to where it's like if he hits you with one of those when you're not ready, you throw a right hand, he count underneath with an uppercut or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could hurt you. It could change the complexion of the fight.
Yep. Yes. Yeah.
So, and we already know that's one of the things that Shaq has been. He's been maligned for not letting his hands go enough. The last two fights in particular.
Both of them, yeah. That's right.
Say so. It's like, yo, man, the guy throws a shot, you got to counter him. Like, it's good to have good defense, but you got to counter him.
Yeah.
And that's going to be of extreme importance for Oshaki against Navarrete. Got to counter that guy.
I like kind of leaning Navarrete right now, early, you know.
Oshaki showed a bad sign where he wanted. He picked Oscar. I know he said it's because they got history in the amateurs, but I don't think that was the
him and Oscar.
I think he more wary of Navarrete.
How you guys doing? God bless.
Hey, what's up,
Define?
Just came in, didn't he?
Oh man, just came in, bro. They changed something here in work, bro. Got on the
okay.
Whatever. How you doing, man?
Okay, how are you today, bro?
Oh, I'm good, thank you.
We was just talking about the fight this weekend, that's all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man, Jaleel Hackett, don't get me started on that fight, bro. Nah, man.
Talk to
That
us.
was
We
messed
got a
up,
couple
man.
minutes. We can go like 5 more minutes. 5 minutes just do stuff. Like 5 after.
I mean, it's bad enough for you to hold that much
Mm-hmm.
and the referee not say anything.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't see the when I saw it was split. When I saw a judge say, Hackett, I was like, oh, come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
and listen, this is not a bad fighter that he fought, but at the same
Mhm.
time, like, Jalil has the belt, right? You got to take the belt away from him,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not what happened. Jalil hit him with a million left hooks, and he had his moments,
Mhm.
but nah, man. And actually, the co-main was two Puerto Ricans, and I thought the other guy won.
Who was the cool name? Was it LeBron? No.
Yeah, Moncho Lebron versus Pitufo.
Yeah.
Bro, I feel so bad for Pitufo Diaz, bro. He had issues with the mental health and thing, and he was about to cry backstage, bro. And I was like, bro, chill, bro. You're a warrior and stuff, like trying to...
you was back there in the room?
Man.
Okay. Oh, that's why you had all access. You was all access this weekend.
Is that the one he bought? Is he bald head? Is that LeBron?
No. The bald guy is Pitufo Diaz.
And the other one, who won that fight?
The bald guy, in my opinion.
Oh, he won that one? Oh.
Yeah.
That's who you think should have won?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I didn't think even one of them was really doing enough in that fight. Like, I thought the guy who was bald, he was supposed to press him a lot faster, a lot more.
Exactly.
And then the other guy looked like he was kind of like not really all together. Like he was sick or something.
What do you think about the main event you find, Arnie?
Man, when I heard 117, 111, I was like, that's gotta be for Hitchens, bro. I was like, that's gotta be for Hitchens.
I thought they was gonna get it. I really did.
If you're gonna see that fight for power,
to
me that's a UD, bro. To me, that was a UD, first of all.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna score it for power, it's gotta be like a 2-point or something.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
117 is 9 rounds, man.
Jeez,
that's crazy,
bro.
I looked at it again. I had gave him 3. Then the second time I gave him 2. I took one away. But man, that was crazy.
Struggled so much with closing the distance. I was like, I understand now why he was able to beat Subriel, because Subriel, you don't need to close the distance. He will close the distance himself for you.
He's gonna be right there. That's right. Yeah, you don't have to.
I feel so good for the kid from Argentina, bro. Oh my god, because I have Argentina blood. My father was from there and everything.
Yeah.
And I've been to Buenos Aires, and the dude won, bro. And I was so freaking happy, bro.
Yeah.
For the girl too, the girl that I interviewed, Coach Ellis said it basically. When I interviewed the Coach Ellis, he said it. Like he had his moments, but the holding and everything, and I was glad that he said Jalil had no injuries. I was glad about that.
Okay. Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Oh, we doing okay. We just chilling. Get ready for upload time for Just Do Boxing. I'm glad you came up though, because I wanted to ask you what kind of you had ringside seats?
A little bit close to those. I was like on one of those. Oh man, how do you say this in English? Like diagonal to the.
Oh yeah, diagonal. Diagonal. Oh,
yeah.
You said it better than me. I said diagonal goals. Diagonal. Right. Yeah. Oh, that wasn't too bad then, though. Yeah, too bad.
I still haven't seen the rematches, bro. I know who won and everything, but I haven't seen them.
Which rematches? You talking about Robisi and Oh yeah, you didn't see Robisi and Espinoza?
Oh man, not yet.
What y'all think about that real quick? That Robisi thing, man. Was it an elbow or what? He just stopped. He did a no mas type thing.
Yeah, they were talking about it.
What round was that? The 5th, right? 5th round, 6th round?
I don't know.
He said he got hit with an elbow in, I think it was the 4th round, but he fought through the 5th round. Then he got hit in the eye again in that round. That's when he just said, that's it. I don't know.
I was watching a Mexican channel, and they were saying something about the orbital bone of Robesi.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have that much information right now, sadly. On Wednesday, I can come up and last a lot longer and maybe speak some more about that, you know.
He was well within the fight, too. It was a good fight, you know, going on, too. Man, I don't think he was doing that bad, you know.
His orbital bone was fractured.
Is that what it was?
The report came out.
That shit hurts.
I think that happened to Dubois against Joe Joyce, if I'm not mistaken.
Happened to a couple of guys. Dubois versus Joe Joyce.
Brooke twice.
Happened to Brook twice, yeah. both sides.
As well. Yeah.
Damn.
What's my guy's name? Billy Joe Saunders. Canelo caught him with a nice little uppercut, broke his up. Very few guys fight through that injury. Very few guys. Only a handful. I know Inoue did. Inoue got his broken versus Nonito Donaire in the first fight.
Right. Yeah.
Got it fractured and fought through it. But you can usually tell because when a guy just got like a regular swollen eye, it's just like that slit look. You know what I'm saying? It just pops up. But when that orbital bone is broke, that thing swells like almost immediately.
Yeah. And that's what it was doing too.
In pain, he tried to blow like the pressure out of his nasal passage.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most gruesome.
I agree.
And dangerous.
And you know what? They said that he said he didn't want to come out for that round, but his corner told him to try one more round. So he wasn't even going to come out. Probably would have better to just not come out, you know? He said his trainer told him to try one more round and see how, you know. That's why he quit in the round because he wasn't even planning on coming out to start the round in the first place. I wouldn't have. I'm the one going out there. Shit.
If I'm not mistaken, that can mess with your eyesight or something like that. I think I read something about it, like a broken orbital. If you get hit badly or something, that can leave you. I don't know if blind is the word, but that can mess with your eyesight or maybe with your brain. Something really nasty like that.
Yeah, no, that's a serious injury.
You say usually when guys get their orbital bones broken, double vision usually occurs almost immediately.
Yeah.
So if you already having trouble with two hands, now you see four. You in a tough spot.
Yeah, man. Like
he said, as soon as he got hit in the eye that last time, he said he had double vision. I don't blame him. I would have stopped too. Shit. Playing with your vision now, man.
Nope. Can't play with that, man.
No.
Can't play with that.
Hey, salute to Gerald Hardy, my guy. I love you, man. that guy is awesome.
Jarilla's up here. Gerald Hardy. Yeah, okay, fellas. We got to get ready to go, but I appreciate y'all, man.
It's always a pleasure. Y'all take care.
Yeah, always, man. Yeah.
All right.
So, it's time for Just Do Boxing. We got Ant McQueen, Jarrell Hattie, and Define RNA1. Okay. Appreciate everybody today. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to talk about some middleweight boxing tomorrow, past and present. So join me tomorrow because if it's Monday through Friday. Oh, wait a minute. Define RNA1, Jarrell Hattie, Thomas Hill, BN Boxing News, Just Do Boxing, Crush the Legend, Ant McQueen, Ray Patterson, Melanie Queen 27, Rich Porco, Donnie Williams, Mike Rem, Mike Massey, Miss Cass. Appreciate everybody. Join me tomorrow because if it's Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., you know what's happening. It's Cass Sports bringing you all that boxing history. Just Do Boxing, probably already in progress. This is Cass Sports. Everybody have a great afternoon. And I will see y'all around those JBT streets. Hardcore boxing news. What's up, Jay Hardcore? I didn't know you was in there. Salute. Yeah, Mr. Famous person like that, Jay Hard. Salute. Everybody have a great one.